Draw nigh unto my soul and redeem me. Deliver me because of mine enemies. Thou hast known my reproach and my shame and my dishonor. Mine adversaries are all before thee. Reproach hath broken my heart, and I am full of heaviness. And I looked for some to take pity, but there was none, and for comforters, but I found none. They gave me also gall for my meat, and in my thirst they gave me vinegar to drink. As the deer pants for the water brooks, so my soul pants for thee, O God. My soul thirsts for God, for the living God. When shall I come and appear before God? Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they shall be satisfied. When the Son of Man shall come in his glory, and all the holy angels with him, then shall he sit upon the throne of his glory. And before him shall be gathered all nations. He shall separate them one from another, as a shepherd divideth his sheep from the goats. And he shall set the sheep on his right hand, but the goats on the left. Then shall the king say unto them on his right hand, Come ye blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. For I was a hunger, and ye gave me meat. I was thirsty, and you gave me drink. I was a stranger, and you took me in. Naked, and you clothed me. I was sick, and you visited me. I was in prison, and you came unto me.
I know that.
Then shall the righteous answer him, saying, Lord, when saw we thee hungered?
Come on, come on.
Or thirsty, and gave thee drink?
Yes.
When saw we thee a stranger, and took thee in? Or naked, and clothed thee? When saw we sick, or in prison, and came unto thee? And the king shall answer and say unto them, Verily I say unto you, inasmuch as ye have done it unto one of the least of these, my brethren, ye have done it unto me. They shall hunger no more, neither thirst any more.
Amen.
Neither shall the sun beat down on them, nor any heat. For the Lamb in the center of the throne shall be the shepherd, and shall guide them to springs of the water of life. And God shall wipe away every tear from their eyes.
Yes.
The day began with a mock trial and the scourging of the victims. After being paraded through the streets, Jesus was led up to Golgotha, surrounded by 4 Roman soldiers and a centurion. The executioner laid the crossbeam behind Jesus and brought him to the ground quickly by grasping his arm and pulling him back. As soon as Jesus fell, the beam was fitted under the back of his neck. On each side, soldiers quickly knelt on the inside of his elbows. Jesus gave no resistance and said nothing. With his right hand, the executioner probed the wrist of Jesus to find the hollow spot. When he found it, he took one of his square-cut iron nails. He raised the hammer over the nail head and brought it down with force. 2 soldiers grabbed each side of the crossbeam and lifted. As they pulled up, they dragged Jesus by the wrist. With every breath, he groaned. When the soldiers reached the upright position, the 4 of them began to lift the crossbeam higher until the feet of Jesus were off the ground. Even on the cross, if we pay close attention, we still see glimpses of his divine attributes. We see El Shaddai in the form of this natural man. He is the servant of God, yet he is in control, and he is master of the moment. He is alert up until the moment of his death. Even on the cross, we see that the love that Christ had for us did not cease. The cross became a place of pardon. Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. The cross became a place of promise. Verily I say unto thee, today shalt thou be with me in paradise. The cross became a place of provision. Woman, behold thy son, behold thy mother. The cross became a place of pain. Pain veiled in darkness as Jesus bore the sin of the world. That moment of pain when he had to pay the wages for our sin. And when he first experienced what it meant to be separated from the Father. My God, why hast thou forsaken me? After this, Jesus, knowing all things were now accomplished, that the scripture might be fulfilled, said, I thirst. Is this the same Jesus who, standing in Jerusalem not long before, surrounded with a great multitude, lifted up his voice and cried, If any man thirst, let him come unto me and drink. Is this the same Jesus who, standing at the well of Jacob with the Samaritan woman, and pointing to the springing fountain at their feet, said, Whosoever drinketh of this water shall thirst again. But whosoever drinketh of the water that I shall give him shall never thirst. But the water that I shall give shall be in him a well of water springing up into everlasting life.
Hallelujah.
Can it really be the same Jesus who offered to quench the thirst of the world now?
Yes.
Now whispering in mortal exhaustion, I thirst.
Jesus.
Jesus has endured the constant exposure to extreme weather. He has been mocked, beaten, betrayed, suffered massive blood loss and dehydration, as well as carried the weight of the sin of the world on his shoulders. And yet this was the only cry of physical pain uttered by our Lord on the cross.
Yes.
His thirst showed us that he showed his true humanity. It is the thirst of a man, a human being. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. The same was in the beginning with God. All things were made by him, and without him was not anything that was made. Jesus is both God and man, but we are reminded by his thirst that he is fully human. We can say of Jesus what Adam said of Eve, it is now bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh. His thirst reminds us that he is the sinner's suffering substitute. By one man sin entered into the world, and death by sin. And so death passed upon all men through the mouth of the first Adam, making all of his descendants dead in sin. So it is fitting that the last Adam, Jesus, should pay for the sin of the first Adam by suffering in his mouth. Although the humanity of Jesus experienced a physical thirst, it was not for physical water. Jesus did not need his physical thirst quenched because he created the oceans, the rivers, and the rain.
Yes.
He did not need physical water because he was the water of life.
That's right.
He could have spoken a word or lifted his brow, and rain would have fallen from heaven to quench his thirst and to cool his agony. He was thirsting to restore our relationship with God.
That's right.
The Bible says that man was created in God's image and likeness and had a relationship with God. But sin robbed the world of peace and tranquility when Adam and Eve ate of the fruit.
All right.
It is sin that caused the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah to be destroyed by fire. It was sin that caused the earth to be destroyed by a flood. It was sin that caused David to cry out, creating me a clean heart, and renew a right spirit in me. Sin put a barrier between man and God and placed a bounty on humanity. For the wages of sin is still death. Sin removed man from his former position with God and made him God's enemy. Sin has left humanity sick, feeble, and deprived of strength. However, because of his love for us, we can almost hear Jesus saying, Father, prepare me a body. I'll go down and redeem man. Because of that thirst, we find Jesus restoring the relationship between man and God. He was thirsty for renewed fellowship with his Father. He yearned for his resurrection and his return to the Godhead.
Yeah.
He yearned to return to eternity to experience the companionship of God the Father and God the Holy Spirit. Jesus endured the thirst because he promised they shall neither hunger anymore nor thirst anymore. He endured the thirst so the sun would not smite you by day nor the moon by night. He endured the thirst so that God could wipe away the tears from our eyes. He endured the thirst so that we could say, I have been young and now I am old, and I have never seen the righteous forsaken nor his seed begging bread. He endured the thirst so that you could say, my God shall supply all my needs according to his riches and glory.
Yes, he will.
He endured the thirst so that we could say, like the songwriter penned, he would not come down from the cross just to save himself. He decided to die just to save him.
Hallelujah.